Okay, so today we're really diving deep, and I'm excited about this one. We're tackling the power of the mind, and you've brought some really fascinating material to the table.
Absolutely.
We've got sources exploring how our thoughts can actually shape reality, the importance of mindset, and not just in a fluffy way, the actual impact of our imagination, how to deal with those mental blocks we all hit.
Right.
Plus, the mind-body connection, the need to keep learning, the whole deal with belief systems, how our brains can actually change, and then mindfulness and mental discipline working together. It's a lot, but our goal is to extract the most valuable, most surprising insights for everyone listening.
Yeah, it's a pretty ambitious undertaking, but I think there's some real gems in here.
Absolutely. So maybe the best place to start is with this idea that keeps popping up. The mind as the starting point for literally everything.
Yeah, you see that theme over and over. It's not just that the mind processes information. It's presented as the engine that drives our whole experience.
Exactly. And it's not limited, not in the way we usually think, not constrained by time or space, or even by our past. It has this power to shape our future, to help us reach potential we don't even realize we have.
And that leads to a real emphasis on personal agency, right? The idea that we're not just reacting to what's happening around us.
Right. And this is where the power of thoughts comes in. They're not just background noise, they're the source of every action, every decision we make. There's this idea that what you think about, you bring about. If you want to see change in your life, you have to start with your own thinking.
Makes you wonder how much control we're actually exerting over those thoughts, doesn't it?
Totally. And it's not all about logic and analysis either. There's a huge emphasis on the power of imagination.
Yeah, it's not just for creative types.
Exactly. It's this fundamental creative force that lets us envision and then actually create things that never existed before. Every innovation, every breakthrough started as an image in someone's mind. And we all have that ability.
It's almost like imagination is the blueprint stage of creation.
Yeah, I love that. But the material also acknowledges the challenges. It talks about those mental barriers, fear, doubt, insecurity, the things that hold us back. It even says that we're often our own worst enemies.
And to overcome those, we need to shift our mindset, reprogram ourselves for success, which, speaking of, is another huge theme.
Mindset, right. The sources are so clear. It's absolutely key. It's not about the resources you have, it's about how resourceful you are in your thinking. And thankfully, it's not fixed. It's something we can cultivate and change. A success-oriented mindset sees challenges as opportunities to learn and grow.
It's fascinating how the focus shifts from what we have to how we approach what we have.
Exactly. And it challenges that limiting belief that success is for a chosen few. The material argues that success is available to anyone with the right mindset and effort. Self-belief is crucial. Self-doubt, on the other hand, is a huge obstacle.
It's almost like our beliefs create a ceiling for what we think we can achieve.
So true. We also see the importance of discipline and resilience. Discipline keeps us focused on our goals, and resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to view them as learning experiences.
If we think about the mind as an engine, discipline is like the fuel, and resilience is the shock absorber that helps us handle the rough patches.
That's a great analogy. And then within this whole mindset conversation, we see the importance of purpose and self-belief. A strong why fuels our motivation, and a genuine belief in our own potential is essential.
It's that internal drive, that conviction that really keeps us moving forward.
Absolutely. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about the tangible power of thoughts. The material presents them as the building blocks of our reality, the seeds that create our experiences. And it suggests that choosing to view the world through a lens of hope and optimism actually helps us see opportunities we might otherwise miss.
It's like our thoughts create a filter through which we perceive the world.
Exactly. And the law of attraction comes up too, the idea that like attracts like. Focusing on abundance and solutions aligns us with those things. It even talks about thoughts having a vibrational energy that interacts with the world around us.
Which is a pretty wild concept when you think about it.
It is. But it's important to note that transforming thoughts into reality takes time. It's not instant manifestation. It requires consistent focus, taking inspired action that aligns with those thoughts.
So thoughts provide the direction, but action is what gets us there.
And here's another fascinating point. Our conscious thoughts seep into our subconscious, influencing our habits and beliefs. That's why it's so important to replace negative beliefs with empowering ones, even at that deeper level.
It's like we have these programs running in the background and we need to make sure they're aligned with what we consciously want.
Yeah, if we're trying to be confident but subconsciously believe we're not good enough, that underlying belief will sabotage us every time. And speaking of belief, that's presented as the real driving force. Aligning our thoughts with our deepest beliefs is key. Belief fuels the mind, propels us forward.
It's not just surface-level affirmations, it's about a deep internal conviction.
Yeah, let's talk about those internal obstacles, those mental barriers. The fear, the doubt, the feeling of inadequacy. The sources make it clear. These are learned patterns of thinking, not reflections of our true capabilities.
Right, it's not that we're inherently limited, it's that we've learned to think in ways that hold us back.
Exactly. And some of the most common ones are fear of failure, self-doubt, negative thinking, procrastination, and even perfectionism.
Yeah, it's important to see these not as weaknesses, but as habits that can be changed.
Absolutely. And the material offers some great reframes. Failure isn't a judgment, it's a teacher. Self-doubt can be countered by focusing on our strengths and past successes.
It's about shifting our perspective, seeing challenges as opportunities for growth.
And when it comes to negative thinking and perfectionism, the advice is to replace negative thoughts with more balanced perspectives and to embrace imperfection as part of the process.
Which can be so freeing, to let go of that need for everything to be perfect.
Totally. For procrastination and limiting beliefs, it's about taking small steps forward, challenging those beliefs head-on, and replacing them with more empowering ones.
Action and cognitive restructuring working together.
And finally, there's the fear of judgment from others. The advice here is to recognize that other people's opinions shouldn't dictate our lives. We need to focus on our own path.
It's about finding that internal validation, not being driven by what others think.
Now let's move into the mind-body connection. The sources highlight how things like stress, anxiety, and negative emotions can manifest in physical symptoms.
It's like our minds and bodies are constantly talking to each other.
And it works both ways. Cultivating positive mental states can have soothing, beneficial effects on our physical well-being. We learn about the role of the nervous system and hormones, how the brain and body are constantly sending signals back and forth.
It shows how interconnected everything is.
And even the power of positive thinking has a real measurable impact. The placebo effect, for example, shows how our beliefs can influence healing. Just the belief in a treatment can sometimes lead to physical improvement.
It's a powerful example of how our minds can influence our bodies.
Of course, it goes the other way too. Physical health impacts our mood, our energy levels, our cognitive function. Exercise is a great example. It improves both physical and mental well-being.
So it's really a holistic picture. We need to take care of both our minds and bodies.
Exactly. Relaxation techniques like meditation help calm the nervous system and manage stress. The sources warn about the negative impacts of chronic stress and emphasize building resilience through positive mental habits.
Those practices give us tools to consciously influence that mind-body connection.
And even unprocessed emotions can impact our physical health. Holding on to negative emotions can contribute to physical ailments. That's why emotional intelligence and healthy emotional expression are so important.
It's about acknowledging and processing those emotions, not just bottling them up.
And for anyone involved in performance of any kind, the mind-body connection is huge. Mental focus, visualization, self-belief, they're all crucial for peak performance.
It shows how we can use that connection to achieve specific goals.
The takeaway here is holistic well-being. Nurturing both mind and body is essential. That means physical activity, good nutrition, mental relaxation, and emotional processing.
It's about taking care of ourselves on all levels.
Now, let's shift to the importance of continuous learning. The sources argue that in today's world, it's not optional. It's essential for adapting to a constantly changing landscape.
It's not just about finishing school and being done.
Yeah.
Learning has to be an ongoing process.
Exactly. It helps us stay relevant, adaptable. And beyond that, continuous learning is crucial for personal growth and self-development. It expands our minds, gives us new perspectives, helps us discover more about ourselves.
It's about evolving as individuals.
And it contributes to fulfillment and purpose. Pursuing knowledge taps into our curiosity and creativity, giving us a sense of self-worth and motivation.
That intrinsic joy of learning can be a huge motivator.
And it has real benefits for cognitive health, too. It improves memory, enhances cognitive function, and might even reduce the risk of mental decline as we age.
It's about keeping our minds sharp.
In terms of our careers, continuous learning is essential for staying competitive, acquiring new skills, and taking advantage of opportunities.
Especially in today's job market, adaptability is key.
And the benefits extend to our relationships, too. Intellectual and emotional growth through learning can improve communication, understanding, and empathy.
So learning has a ripple effect, impacting our interactions with others.
And remember, learning isn't limited to formal education. Every experience, every interaction is an opportunity to learn.
It's about seeing the world with a curious mind.
Continuous learning also fosters innovation. It helps us connect ideas from different areas, sparking new perspectives.
That cross-pollination of knowledge can lead to amazing breakthroughs.
And perhaps most importantly, it transforms fear into confidence. Knowledge reduces anxiety by equipping us to handle new situations.
It's about empowering ourselves through understanding.
Now, let's dive into belief systems. These are the bedrock of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Our values, convictions, and assumptions shape our perceptions and decisions.
They act as filters, coloring how we see the world.
And here's a powerful concept: self-fulfilling prophecies. Our beliefs about ourselves shape our actions, and those actions often confirm those beliefs, whether positive or negative.
It shows how our inner world shapes our outer reality.
Beliefs also influence how we interact with others, shaping our perceptions based on social categories and characteristics.
And that highlights the potential for both conscious and unconscious bias.
When we face challenges, our beliefs determine how we respond, fostering either helplessness or resilience.
It's about how we interpret and cope with adversity.
Even our health and well-being are affected by our beliefs. A positive mindset can improve physical health, while negative beliefs can undermine it.
Again, that mind-body connection is so crucial.
Our beliefs also shape our motivation and drive. Belief in the possibility of success fuels effort, while beliefs of futility hinder action.
It's like belief is the fuel and doubt is the brake.
And whether we believe in our ability to change and grow influences whether we actually do. Fixed beliefs lead to stagnation, while a belief in transformation enables self-improvement.
It's about seeing ourselves as works in progress, capable of growth.
Our beliefs even define what success means to us and how we cope with setbacks.
They provide the framework for how we approach both achievement and disappointment.
But here's the good news: belief systems can be changed. Through self-reflection, new experiences, and challenging our assumptions, we can replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones.
It gives us the power to rewrite our internal narratives.
Now let's explore neuroplasticity, the brain's incredible capacity for change. The sources explain that our brains can rewire themselves, forming new neural connections throughout our lives.
It's a truly revolutionary concept. Our brains are constantly adapting.
And here's the key takeaway: our thoughts create neural pathways. Repetitive thoughts strengthen those pathways, reinforcing beliefs and habits. So, choosing to focus on positive thoughts can literally rewire our brains.
It's like paving new roads in our minds.
Learning also physically changes the brain. Acquiring new skills creates new synaptic connections, and practice strengthens those pathways.
It's a reminder that learning isn't just mental, it's physical.
Even our emotional patterns and beliefs are malleable. They can be reshaped through conscious effort, and therapies like CBT can help us challenge those unhelpful thought patterns.
It gives us tools to change those ingrained patterns.
Overcoming limiting beliefs starts with awareness. Recognizing and questioning those beliefs is the first step to replacing them with more supportive ones.
It's about shining a light on those limiting beliefs, bringing them into our conscious awareness.
Remember the growth mindset. Embracing challenges and seeing setbacks as learning opportunities actually promotes brain change.
It creates the conditions for our brains to thrive and adapt.
And even healing from trauma involves neuroplasticity. The brain can rewire itself in response to healing experiences, with practices like mindfulness and therapy playing a key role.
It highlights the brain's role. It's a reminder that our individual transformations can have a ripple effect.
Now let's talk about the synergy of mindfulness and mental discipline. Mindfulness is present moment awareness without judgment, while mental discipline is about controlling our thoughts and behaviors in alignment with our goals.
They work so well together.
Mindfulness enhances self-awareness. It helps us observe our thoughts and emotions non-reactively, creating space for conscious response.
It's like hitting the pause button before we react.
And that's where mental discipline comes in. It's about choosing how to respond, aligned with our values, rather than just being impulsive. Mindfulness provides the awareness, discipline provides the action.
It's about making choices that are in line with who we want to be.
Mental discipline also helps us stay focused amidst distractions. It's like training our minds to concentrate on what matters.
In today's world, that's such a valuable skill.
Together, mindfulness and mental discipline lead to self-mastery. It's about aligning our inner desires with our outer actions, living intentionally.
It's about being in the driver's seat of our lives.
They also help with delayed gratification, resisting short-term temptations for long-term rewards. Mindfulness helps us notice those desires. Discipline helps us resist them.
It's about playing the long game, not getting derailed by instant gratification.
Mindfulness and mental discipline also support emotional regulation. Mindfulness helps us recognize emotions. Discipline helps us choose how to respond thoughtfully.
It's about managing our emotions, not letting them manage us.
Building successful habits relies on mental discipline. It keeps us going even when motivation dips. Mindfulness helps us stay present with the process.
It's about consistency and showing up, even when it's hard.
The sources emphasize that this combined practice leads to transformation. We move from unconscious reaction to conscious creation, from chaos to purpose.
It's about taking ownership of our lives, shaping our experiences.
And the ultimate outcome, inner peace and fulfillment. These practices help us transcend stress, cultivate presence, clarity, and balance.
It's about finding that sense of peace amidst the chaos.
And it's about unlocking our full potential. We shift from reacting to life to actively creating the life we want, moving from chaos to purpose.
It's about becoming the best versions of ourselves.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, you've explored so much about the power of the mind. The key takeaways are clear. Your mind is the foundation of your reality. Your thoughts and beliefs actively shape your experiences, from your daily actions to your long-term potential. Cultivating a growth mindset, practicing self-awareness through mindfulness, and developing the mental discipline to align your thoughts with your goals are all essential for growth and achieving what truly matters to you.
Now the question is, how will you use this information? What resonates with you? Where can you apply these ideas in your own life?
And here's one final thought to ponder. Given the mind's incredible power and its ability to change, what's one belief about yourself or the world that if you reshaped it could unlock your next level of growth and fulfillment? Keep that question with you. And thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
It's been a pleasure.